Hello Fragheads, Joanna here. Today I'll be talking about my favorite fruity perfumes according to fruit category. I made a similar video a while ago wherein I mentioned a particular fruit note and I let you guys know my favorite perfume that is dominant with that fruit note. So basically, today is just a continuation of that video because I have more fruit notes to talk about. And yeah, I just think that it is such a cool and fun video to do since summer is just around the corner, and I think now is the perfect time to play around with fruity fragrances. In case you haven't watched the video that I'm talking about, I'm gonna link it down below and it will also be in the end screen of this video. First fruit that I want to talk about is banana. And you guys, I've been searching for a really long time for that amazing banana that will captivate me, okay? And I am so happy to let you guys know that I finally found my kind of banana fragrance. This is called Banana Bread Banshee by Hez Parfums. This fragrance has been kindly gifted to me by Hans, the perfumer and the owner of Hez Parfums, which is an indie brand based in New Orleans. Guys, when I received this email, I was very excited because New Orleans is one of those destinations that is still on my list. Anyway, now let's talk about Banana Bread Banshee before I ramble more about travels. Banana Bread Banshee, as the name suggests, smells like a banana bread, okay? But it's not your typical banana bread, as I have tried plenty of banana bread inspired perfumes for the past year, and nothing really hits me yet until I've tried Banana Bread Banshee. So this is not your typical banana bread because it is a special one. Why is that? It is because it's loaded with extra chocolate chips, rum, and caramel drizzle. This is absolutely delicious and very gourmand. I notice if a gourmand is chocolate or caramel heavy, it always gets me. Basically, banana bread is all about that. This has rum, caramel, chocolate, and banana that is to die for. To me, this is a delicious banana scent that doesn't really smell like a banana fruit, if you know what I mean. This is a banana dominant scent that is more of like a banana pastry, leaning more gourmand. I absolutely love it. I mentioned that I've tried many banana bread inspired perfumes for the past year, and I prefer Banana Bread Banshee because I love the sweet and boozy contrast in this fragrance. It is also a bit spicy because of the cinnamon, so it is really giving banana bread vibes. I bake banana bread, but I will say that my banana bread is kind of basic. This perfume actually inspired me to put rum in my next banana cake and some caramel as well. I think that is a good idea. Anyway, guys, I highly recommend you checking out Banana Bread Banshee by Hez Parfums. I think this is not a new perfume. However, now it comes in new bottle and it looks like this. To me, it is really giving New Orleans vibe. He also sent me Cafe Beignet. Basically, this one smells like a cafe specializing in Beignet. It is giving sweet pastry and cafe au lait vibe, and the combo of these two just smells absolutely delicious, addictive, and mouth watering. I notice when I layer these two fragrances together, the banana note in here actually comes out more. I just felt so happy to also discover this combo. In case you have these two already, try to layer them both and you're gonna thank me later. Anyway, guys, Banana Bread Banshee by Hez Parfums. a delicious and mouth-watering banana pastry dominant scent. The rum and caramel combo in here makes it like a sexy kind of gourmand. I absolutely love it, and I highly recommend you checking it out if the sound of like a sexy banana bread sounds interesting to you. Next fruit is pomegranate. And yes, I know there's not a lot of choices when it comes to pomegranate. However, I think I have three in my collection, and I actually like pomegranate as a fruit. I use it a lot in my salad. Anyway, I think this is very underrated. Andaluiza by Juice Parfums. Guys, if you're looking for a sexy, fruity, vampy fragrance, then I highly recommend you checking out Andaluiza. This definitely has that juicy pomegranate vibes in the opening. And then as it dries down, it just becomes sexier and darker because of the labdanum, amberwood, milk, tonka bean, and musk. If you read the note breakdown, it may look weird because, hello, tonka bean, labdanum, milk, and pomegranate. However, guys, it works really well with this fragrance. I think this would be perfect for like a summer date night situation because it is very sexy, mysterious, and dark. Yet it has a fresh and juicy factor coming from the pomegranate and mandarin orange. The fruity notes in here stays until the final dry down, and also, I find this fragrance very unique. I don't have any other fragrance that smells like Andaluiza. And guys, when it comes to longevity and projection, I will say this is a beast mode. You don't need to spray a lot because it is very strong and potent. You will definitely be smelled. I think 4 sprays will be enough to get the most out of this fragrance. Sexy, vampy, and juicy. And I would say it's quite hard to find a fragrance that is fresh and juicy and at the same time dark. I find Andaluiza to be just like that. So yeah, definitely worth checking out if the sound of pomegranate, mandarin orange, milk, amberwood, tonka bean, and musk sounds appealing to you. Once again, Andaluiza by Juice Parfums, and I find this fragrance unisex. Now, third fruit is peach. And to me, this is a very easy pick because in my opinion, this is really the best peach dominant fragrance that I have ever tried. And this is called Peach's Revenge by Sarah Baker. This is not a new scent. I think this was launched last year as I discovered it last year in Essence, and I loved it since then. This is absolutely mouth-watering as well. Sexy gourmand, I would say. It has that sexy and addictive amaretto and caramel with the juicy factor of peach, nectarine, and guava. A sexy, fruity gourmand, definitely peach dominant. I have tried so many peach dominant fragrances out there, but nothing really close with how I feel with Peach's Revenge. I love the fact that this has a prominent amaretto note as well, as it gave this fragrance uniqueness and sexy factor. It is quite spiced as well because of the cardamom, cinnamon, and ginger. It just smells very sexy, unique, and delicious. I'm gonna consider this fragrance like a sexy gourmand. If you notice, that's like my kind of fruity scents actually. Yeah, I love when a fruity scent is giving some sexy vibes and not just, flat fruits. Unless if I have to use it during hot and humid days. Anyway, Peach's Revenge, guys, is something that is not new in my channel. I have raved about this fragrance since I received it last year. To me, this is one of the best perfume releases last year. And yeah, I just recommend it to you guys if the sound of a unique peach cocktail sounds interesting to you. Once again, Peach's Revenge, and I find this fragrance unisex. Next fruit is pear, and I have a lot of pear dominant perfumes in my collection. But in my opinion, this is the one that I like the most because there's something about it that just smells like joy and sunshine. And this is Pear Potion by Paris Corner. I know, not a complicated fragrance. This is a very straightforward pear, green apple, jasmine, and musk scent that will be perfect this summertime. I have other pear dominant scents in my collection. However, I think Pear Potion takes the cake when it comes to wearability. This is something that I would love to smell like when it's hot and humid outside. Basically, this is sweet pear and green apple with clean musk in the base. The jasmine is there, giving it just a bit of a floral touch. It's just in the background. It also has raspberry that I don't really get, even though, yes, I can imagine that there are some berries in here, but I will say that the pear is really banging from the beginning until the end. This is a linear fragrance. However, it smells like joy, sunshine in a bottle. It is sweet, yet not too sweet. And I love that the musk that is in here is clean and sweet musk style, not that heavy, cloying musk that they use a lot in Middle Eastern perfumes. I love this fragrance and I highly recommend it if you are into pear. This is very affordable. Yeah, once again, Pear Potion by Paris Corner, and I find this fragrance feminine leaning. All right, next up is one of my favorite fruits ever. Okay, blueberry. Now, I have, I think, around five blueberry dominant, five or six, yeah, six blueberry dominant scents in my collection. And I chose Blueberry Night by Micallef to feature in today's video because this is my favorite blueberry scent. Another gourmand style fruity fragrance. This is basically blueberry, raspberry, caramel, vanilla, patchouli, and musk. This seems like it has some whipped cream as well because there's something a bit fluffy about this fragrance. Like, it is gourmand, yet it is very light and airy, and it is somehow giving whipped cream texture that I am absolutely loving. This fragrance is inspired by a pavlova, so definitely heavy in berries, particularly blueberry. It is sweet, yet not too much. I'm getting sweet, fluffy texture, kind of like a meringue as well. And I just absolutely love this fragrance. This is a kind of gourmand that I will consider more of like a grown gourmand. It is not like the other fragrances that I mentioned in today's video that are leaning sexy gourmand. To me, this is a grown gourmand. An underrated scent by Micallef, in my opinion, because I know they have a lot of elegant and sophisticated fragrances. And yeah, I just feel like Blueberry Night is gourmand. However, it has that elegant and sophisticated touch of Micallef. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I think this is in my top 3 favorite from the brand. Yes, that's how much I love this fragrance. I would say same level as Hypnotic Musk. Anyway, guys, Blueberry Night by Micallef, I highly recommend it if the sound of a sophisticated grown blueberry gourmand sounds interesting to you. All right, last 2 fruit notes I would say are my favorite fruit note in a fragrance, okay? Cherry. And this is kind of like a no-brainer. I mean, I have a lot of cherry dominant perfumes in my collection. However, when I was choosing which perfume to feature in today's video, this I didn't think twice. I know 100% sure that it's Duchessa that I want to show in today's video. Guys, Duchessa is just the queen of cherry scents, in my opinion. It is a syrupy black cherry that is also heavy in dark chocolate, cloves, almond, and saffron. I absolutely love it. The saffron in here is perfectly blended. I mean, there's no screechiness at all, because what I notice is that if a saffron is combined with anything fruity, then there's always like a screechy factor, but not with Duchessa. This is an absolute grown and elegant gourmand. This is definitely my kind of cherry. I love how the dark chocolate is contrasted by the spices that they use in this fragrance, especially that cloves, as I feel like it gave it some mystery factor. It also has bitter orange that gave it a unique zesty factor as well. I noticed the bitter orange actually stays in this fragrance, breaking up, you know, the sweet components coming from the chocolate and that syrupy black cherry. The saffron in here gave this fragrance that luxurious vibes as well. It is sweet yet very controlled. I think if you love cherries and chocolate, you will definitely love Duchessa. I love the fact that this has very good longevity and projection as well. And this is a kind of cherry that I will wear on a date night this summertime. This is definitely giving confident, femme fatale, and alluring vibe, which is basically my kind of style when it comes to sexy date night fragrances. And yeah, I just love it. I think this is the best cherry fragrance out there. Yeah, once again, Duchessa by Gritti. And I find this fragrance unisex, however, leaning more feminine. Last but not the least is my favorite fruit note in a fragrance, coconut. And okay, now this is very hard, okay, because my perfume collection is basically coconut, vanilla, and sandalwood dominant kind of scents. So, you know, I have plenty of coconut dominant perfumes in my collection. However, if I have to choose just one that is giving perfect coconut vibe that I am looking for, I will go for the very affordable Coconut Lagoon by Paris Corner. Now, this fragrance is a refreshing coconut water and coconut meat scent. Yeah, basically, that's how I describe it, with some citruses, particularly lime. There's something watery about it. I know I mentioned that this is more of like a coconut water and coconut meat combo. However, I think the watermelon even amped up the watery texture of this fragrance, okay? And what I mean by watery is not diluted, okay? It means it has that fresh and invigorating vibe, which I am really, really loving. I think this is the perfect coconut scent for summer. Yeah, and guess what, it is around $30 to $40. You guys inspired me to actually get this fragrance. I absolutely love it, no regrets at all. I think this is an amazing coconut citrus scent, perfect for the spring and summertime. It is also unisex. You can share it with your man. It doesn't have a creamy coconut factor, okay? So don't expect it to be creamy at all. As mentioned, it has a watery texture that just feels so fresh. For now, this is my favorite coconut scent in my collection, and I highly recommend you to check it out since it's very affordable as well. When it comes to longevity though, I would say it is not a beast mode, but it lasts good. Let's say around 4 to 6 hours. But yeah, I am wearing it under the heat anyway. So, you know, that means it's still very good. Once again, Coconut Lagoon by Paris Corner, my favorite coconut scent as of the moment. All right, so that is the video for today, guys. Those are my favorite fruity perfumes according to fruit notes. Let me know if you are interested in any of these fragrances because I think that they're really amazing. Let me know if you've tried any of them and your feedback, you know. Let's continue in the comments down below. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. And if you haven't watched my first video regarding my favorite fruity fragrances, I'm going to link it up in here so you can watch it. Once again, thank you all so much for watching and see you in my next one. Bye!